Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. We now stand 10 years past the midpoint of a century that has witnessed 4 major wars among great nations. Until the latest of our world conflicts, the United States had no armaments industry. American makers of plowshares could, with time and as required, make swords as well. But we can no longer risk emergency improvisation of national defense. We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. Added to this, 3.5 million men and women are directly engaged in the defense establishment. Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizen can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
Of shock and dismay. I share the sense of shock and dismay. Of shock and dismay. Of shock and dismay. I share the sense of shock and dismay that the entire nation must feel at the despicable act that took the life of the nation's president.
I think, in fact, the public would be quite disillusioned the way the industry treats its stars. I remember when I got the part in Gentleman Before Blonde, Jane Russell. She was the brunette in it, and I was the blonde. She got $200,000 for it, and I got my $500 a week, but to me that was considerable. But the other thing was, I couldn't get a dressing room. You start to sound paranoid or something. I don't think I am. I think that every weakness is exaggerated.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
In the history of show business, perhaps there has been no one female
This government
who meant
has
so much,
promised,
who has
has
done more.
maintained the closest surveillance of the Soviet military buildup on the island of Cuba.
Which, I thought, oh my God, if I'd been wearing a slip, I would have thought it was showing or something.
Late Marilyn Monroe.
There was kind of this hush squawk thing. I thought, oh my God, what if no sound comes out? And then you think, my God, I'll sing this song if it's the last thing I'll ever do.
Happy birthday Mr. President. Happy birthday.
triumphant politics after having had just happy birthday sung to me in such a sweet.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, opposed to secret society.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN.
Part of something larger than ourselves. For 2 centuries, we've done the hard work of freedom, and tonight we lead the world in facing down a threat to decency and humanity. What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order, where diverse nations are drawn together in common cause to achieve the universal aspirations of mankind: peace and security, freedom, and the rule of law. Such is a world worthy of our struggle and worthy of our children's future.
She's still telling me what to do.
I want to continue to build a lasting basis for U.S.-Soviet cooperation for a more peaceful future for all mankind. The triumph of democratic ideas in Eastern Europe and Latin America, and the continuing struggle for freedom elsewhere.
Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready. Kid. Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. What word? Kid. Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. Seal. What word? Seal. Yes, steel. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Play. Yes, play. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kick. Yes, kick. Get ready. Seal. Yes, seal. Get ready. Play. Yes, play. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 150.
You are absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that that has not come my Christian faith.
And conveniently, Pinochet also implemented sweeping economic reforms that proved disastrous for Chile, but profitable for U.S. corporations. But the plan to literally shock the people of the world into submission clearly goes beyond the obvious disasters and political upheavals that Klein points out in the book. The Marc Dutroux affair was used to reorganize the Belgian justice system, including a push for the creation of a cult watchdog group like Mabel Lutz. Henry Lee Lucas was used both to horrify the public and as a scapegoat to pin a variety of mysterious murders on. The pedophile prostitution ring run by Lawrence King, using children from Boys Town, was used not only to serve the twisted needs of political and corporate elites, but to blackmail politicians into supporting policies and laws that benefited these same elites. These are only a few examples of the unimaginable sickness that appears to pervade all governments on the planet. These cases are not merely incidents of bad people achieving positions of power. They are the norm. The sickness is systemic. The abuse seems to bear all of the hallmarks of a vast counterintelligence program for gaining more power over the minds and lives of the public. Given the virtually identical pattern of abuse and protection in both the US and in Europe, organizations like Miviludes appear increasingly like protectors of the abusers, not the public. Aside from the connections to all of this that we have already explored, there is another key connection between Scientology and these cults of abuse: Satanism. The essence of so-called black magic is gaining power over other people. This is also what is behind all mind control programs, ritual child abuse, and Scientology. The Nazis' interest in magic and the occult is also well documented and directly related to their search for ways of gaining the greatest possible control over the populace and gaining power. Immediately after World War II, many of these same Nazi researchers interested in the use of the occult to gain control and power were secretly brought to the US to continue their research via Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip was officially approved in August of 1945.
After years of secretly monitoring the public, we were astounded so many people would willingly publicize where they lived, their religious and political views, an alphabetized list of all their friends' personal email addresses, phone numbers, hundreds of photos of themselves, and even status updates about what they were doing moment to moment. It is truly a dream come true for the CIA.
What we've been doing is we've been getting a truth-error mixture of events going on around the world. Enough truth to make it seem plausible, but enough error to get you off course. A lot of it has to do with our educational systems, where we've been dumbing our kids down. And when you dumb them down, it's the cruelest form of censorship.
The Federal Reserve is a privately owned bank.
That doesn't make sense. It's called the Federal Reserve. You mean to tell me that they are just throwing the word federal in there to be clever?
Yes.
The notorious founder of the Rothschild banking family, Mayer Amschel Rothschild, said, "Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes her laws."
He will not be mocked. He will not be mocked. Don't touch me. He will not be mocked. The greatest deception here is this is not one nation under God. It never was. Had it been, it would not have been. No. It would not have been. Constitution would not have been written by Freemasons. They go against God. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve two masters. Praise be to God, Lord Jesus Christ.
But as for the cowardly, the faithless, the polluted, as for the murderers, fornicators, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their lot shall be in the lake that burns with fire and brimstone. What are you gonna do?